Alright, it's been a good long while since I've done one of these, and I just felt like doing one today, so we're gonna do it. It is, I think it's, what day is it? It's August 8th, 2022, so the summer's just about to end. I've gotten a good chunk of stuff over the summer, but since last year, it's just been ridiculous. So, yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I used to, do each shelf as its own segment, but we're just gonna do this whole wall. We're gonna start all the way over here. This is just a bunch of random crap that I've gotten. I have some TurboGrafx 16 games. All my Vectrex stuff is in there. I have about a dozen games. I have like the light pen and a couple controllers. This is like a plastic protector thing from Metalstorm that I don't use. Some books, power magazines, sealed ET VHS box that might have had my address on it. Stuff for NES games, styrofoam blocks, stuff like that. Just the usual garbage. Alright. I just got over COVID, so my throat's a little sore. And I was choking because I swallowed wrong earlier, so my voice is probably not all here. Here's my Game Boy. I don't know if last time I had the headphones for that or not, but it's complete now, so. There's Rob. So my goal right now is, I have all the games I want. I just want to get them in boxes now. Some of them are just going to be too ridiculous. I'll get repros for them. But for the most part, I want to get all of my games into boxes. N64, I'm about a third of the way done. I do have the regular Zelda. This is the collector's edition. I have the Grey Cart in the box as well, but it's at a friend's house right now. Other than that, I have the expansion pack in the box. That's kind of cool. Some other random titles. I got Chrono Trigger. My Super Nintendo games, I think I'm 2/3 of the way done getting these in the box. Got Donkey Kong Country, Doom, F-Zero, Zelda, Final Fantasy 2 or 4 if you're that kind of person. Lost Vikings, why not? It looks interesting. Out of This World, this is a really cool one. I wanted to get it on 3DO, but I figured I should just sell my 3DO, pocket $100 and buy that instead. So that's what I did. I don't have a 3DO anymore. I've been selling tons of stuff. So there's going to be a lot less of certain things, but a lot more of other things, like boxed Super Nintendo games. Pilot Wings, Populous. Populous is cool. I got this really cheap. This was only like $12, I think. Secret of Mana, this is cool. I got this with Chrono Trigger. SimCity, Soul Blazer. Most of these I got in one big lot. This guy emailed me. I have an ad on Craigslist, and sometimes people will email me. And this guy emailed me asking if I wanted to buy some of his boxed Super Nintendo games. I was like, yeah, I want to buy all of them. So I ended up doing that, and I sold some stuff to make a bunch of money for that, because this was very expensive. And what I sold paid for everything, so I got all this pretty much for free. Soul Blazer, I've had this forever. I got a really good deal on that. Space Invaders, this used to be my only boxed Super Nintendo game, and it is actually sealed. How wonderful. A lot of the games that I got from that one guy have the original shrink wrap on them. Some of them have a new shrink wrap that was put on at a later date. I'm trying to find one that's got original shrink wrap. Yeah, see, that one's got like the H-seam shrink wrap on it. I'd say probably 30% of my Super Nintendo games have shrink wrap on them. Spanky's Quest, why not? Star Fox, Super Bowling, Super Buster Bros. They bust. Super Castlevania 4, that's super cool. I have all of the classic Castlevania games in the box, besides Dracula X. But that one's like $2,000 in the box. Super Game Boy, this one's annoying because it's just a little bit taller than all of the other boxed Super Nintendo games, so it doesn't fit in the regular box protector, so you have to get this really big one for it, and it sticks out a little bit. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I did beat Ghosts and Goblins a little while ago, so I might try and beat Ghouls and Ghosts. Super Mario All-Stars. So I can't afford Super Mario World, of course. Mario RPG, I got that with Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana. Super Metroid. This is probably still my favorite game. Yeah, I really like Celeste though, and Hollow Knight, they're up there too. Super Punch-Out. It's got some writing on it, but oh well, it was cheap. Super Star Wars, Super Tennis. I don't know why I've always had a strange fascination with Super Tennis. Vegas Stakes. All right, and then now I'm starting out the NES games. And recently I sorted out my NES games where the boxes, or I put all the cartridges in the boxes and I just put them alphabetically, not distinguishing whether or not they're in cartridge or box. And this way I can see which ones I have boxed and which ones I still need to get boxes for. Of course, some of them, like Balloon Fight, are just going to be ridiculous, and I probably will never own a boxed Balloon Fight. But the rest of them, the goal is to get all of these in boxes. And once that gets just way too crazy expensive, I'll start getting repro boxes. But for now, I want to get stuff like Air Fortress in the box. This is actually a really interesting game if you've never played it. I do have quite a few black box games, like 10 Yard Fight. I got this at Half Price Books, believe it or not. This Batman, I don't know why, but when I got this, it was covered in packing tape, and it still is, and it's really weird. I have all 3 Castlevania games. The last one I got was Dracula's Curse. That was exciting. I might sell this Donkey Kong because I can play that on here, but it's kind of cool having the black box Donkey Kong. Double Dragon 2, I got this in the mail recently. Such good box art. Dragon Strike. This game is actually not that good, but since it's like one of the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons games, it's kind of expensive. I might sell that someday. Duck Hunt, I've had this for ages. I got this on Craigslist for like 15 bucks, along with Ice Hockey. Moving down, Final Fantasy. A lot of my NES games I got at a garage sale many, many years ago. Those are the ones that you'll see in other, like, older collection tours. But they were, like, all mint. Like, these two, I know for sure, and this Dragon Strike, I got all at the same garage sale for, like, 60 bucks with a couple systems. So, I still have most of those. Ghosts and Goblins. I have a spare Ghosts and Goblins. This one's a 5-screw. That's a 3-screw. The same is true for Metroid. We'll see that in a second. But, I don't know. I might get rid of those kind of spares eventually. Golf. I really like NES Golf. I got this one pretty recently, and it's in really nice shape. So, that's cool. It was pretty cheap, too. Gradius. This is cool, because it has the hang tab on the back. So this is like a really early print of Gradius. Gradius. I don't know what you want to call it. But, yeah. Gunsmoke is cool. Kind of expensive, though, in the box. Hogan's Alley. If you can't tell, I'm filling out the cheaper black box games before I go for stupid stuff like Ice Climber. There's Ice Hockey. Isolated Warrior. This is just the stupidest game. Going down. Jackal. I love how these games, I don't know, just the Jackal logo. I don't know why. On the top of the box of Jackal is, I don't know, this logo is just satisfying for some reason. Kirby's Adventure. This is one that I got at a garage sale. Crazy Creatures. Oh my god. I'm like the luckiest man in the world. I got this for 50 bucks. This is like a $150 to $200 game in the box. And I found an auction like a week or so ago, and nobody bid on it. And yeah, now I have 2 copies. I'm gonna get rid of this one, but cool. Here are all of the Zelda games. This is the gray cart. This is a gold cart. And this one's like the 5-screw first print. So maybe I'll get like a gray cart of this in the box and a gold cart of this in the box. But if I do that, that'll be way down the line when I've gotten most of the other stuff I want first. Lunar Pool. This game is really good. You should try it out if you've never heard of it. all 4 of these games, Mario Bros. And the Mega Man games, those are going to be killers to get in the box because they're just so stupid expensive. Especially Mario Bros. Is like $300 or $400 in the box. Metal Gear, I also got that at Half Price Books. That one was a bit more expensive though. Metroid, this is another thing where I have the 5 screw loose and the 3 screw in the box. And sometimes, like, this copy of Metroid is not in great shape. But come on, it's so cool just to have stuff like this in the box. I don't know. It just adds another, like, level of, like, wow, this is, like, actually a thing. I don't know how to describe it. Metal Storm, this is probably one I'll never own in the box. In the box, it probably goes to like $800. So I might get a repro of that. That is an authentic cartridge, though. Got Micro Mages. This thing is so cool. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I do have the letter in here. The letter from Mike Tyson. Millipede got that at a local store. Not local to here, but local to a city I was visiting. NES Open, these 2 I got at that garage sale a long time ago. Got Ninja Gaiden in the box pretty recently. Palamedes, this is a really cool game. If you want to play like a 2-player puzzle game, play Crazy Creatures. But if you don't want to play Crazy Creatures, play Palamedes, it's really fun. Pinball, have had that for a long time. Pipe Dream, oh my god, this is probably like top 5 NES games right here. It's so fun, and it's cheap. This in the box was only like $20. Highly recommend Pipe Dream. Popeye, got that at a local store when I was on vacation once. Power Punch 2, this is like the sequel to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Pro Wrestling, you got this really recently. This was only $20, because it has a huge hole in the bottom, but you can't see it on the shelf. I don't know, it's cool. $20, couldn't pass that up. Rad Racer, I don't have the sunglasses, or the sunglasses? No, 3D glasses. RC Pro-Am, that's the only one that I actually have the little plastic bag for that cartridges used to come in. Snake's Revenge. Solomon's Key, that's a fun game. Got all the Mario Bros. Games here. I have 2 copies of Super Mario Bros. 2 for whatever reason. Both Tetris games. Here's a Tengen game. Vindicators. I don't know, it looked like Combat, and you all know how much I love Combat. Wild Gunman. That's the game I want to get in the box the most. When I get that game in the box, I think if my life ended that moment, I would be satisfied. There's an NES Advantage. Yep. Okay, here's a couple knickknacks. Donkey Kong 3 and Double Dragon 2 on Famicom. Some TI-99 4A games. There's Burger Time. Some 3 7800 games. Super Mario Bros. On Famicom, and Tetris on Famicom. I really like that soundtrack. Okay, how did I have this? This goes here, and these go there. Good. Alright, here's my boxed Atari games. The only one that I really looked for was Adventure, and I have that, so now I'm basically done seeking out boxed Atari games. They go down there as well. Actually, you know what? I lied. Tax Avoiders. I was also looking for that one, but now I have it. So, cool. Here's my Mario Paint set. That thing's pretty cool. There is my Combat cartridges. Yep, you gotta have at least a couple spares in case they break. This is my only boxed Atari 400 game. So it just sits there. Here's Communist Mutants from Space, my only Arcadia Supercharger game for the Atari. I have a lot of sealed Atari games. That one's sealed. This is sealed. Joust, that is sealed. I think this is, yeah, that's sealed. That's sealed. That is sealed. Right? I think? Yeah, over here, this is sealed. This is sealed, this is sealed, this is sealed. I don't think sealed Atari games are worth all that much, but they're kind of cool. I'm not going to open them. Here are my Switch games. Ape Out is awesome. Celeste. I got really lucky getting that Celeste. I only paid like $50 secondhand. Hollow Knight, of course, is amazing. Haven't played any Metroid Dread. Haven't even opened Octopath Traveler. Ori, I played a little bit of it. It was good. West of Loathing is funny. And then, of course, Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap, because it's great. This is my only... I'm on a quest to get every single version of Lunar Lander, because this was a great arcade game, but like it got very few home ports, and this is one of the only ones, and it was only released in Japan, so that's cool. I have like almost every single version of the Atari except for one. That one is kind of hard to find. It's the 4-switch Sears Video Arcade. In this Atari Game Center, you can see I have, maybe you can see that, I have a Heavy Sixer in there. That's one of the harder ones to get as well. Definitely more common than that one, I think. But in here I also have like my Supercharger and some CX-10 controllers and like a trackball controller and some other random stuff. Here's my Vectrex. This thing is awesome. Here's a note card that my friend gave me. I don't know why. And here are all of my Atari games and Super Nintendo games. Let's start up here. Castlevania Dracula X. Oh my god, I love that game. It's so good. It's totally worth it. Yeah, so none of these boxes have games in them, except for like maybe 3 or 4. All of my cartridges are right here. So if I ever want to play one, I don't have to mess with the box. I can just take the cartridge right here. Eventually, once I get all the boxes for them, yeah, I'll probably put all the cartridges in the boxes. But for now, they fit pretty well right here. Yeah. Soul Blazer is good. I kind of already went over these. There's Earthbound. I think last time I did one of these, I hadn't played Earthbound. I did very shortly after. And it's amazing, of course. There's Chrono Trigger. I'm just showing you guys the fancy ones, but yeah, there's other good ones in here. Yeah, probably my favorite Super Nintendo game, though, is Castlevania Dracula X. Here's Activision games. I almost have all of them. There's a couple hard to find ones like Cosmic Crusader, or isn't it Cosmic Commuter? I don't know. One of those, and like Private Eye is one that I'm missing. There's a couple more. Here are iMagic games. The hard one to find here is Subterranea. That's a pretty hard one to find. I have the manual for that too. These are all picture label Atari games. Generally, if they're in a little baggie, they're harder to find. Yep. I have every single version of Video Pinball because they decided to change the capital and lowercase-ness of them. That label fell off. I gotta put that on sometime. Double-sided tape. Some text label games. Some red label games. That London Blitz. Probably a horrible game. There's this Frontline cartridge. That's like a knockoff version of Combat, and it's Combat, so you gotta have it. These are just ones that the labels fell off. Made my own labels. Yeah, some of these I don't know why are in bags. Like, I don't know why Space Jockey's in a bag. Okay, sorry, my camera ran out of storage. Yeah, I don't know where I was, but there's the rest of my Atari games. I do have Sword Quest Waterworld, which is kind of cool. I have that with the manual. There are ColecoVision games, and for some reason I have 2 Donkey Kongs. I think I mentioned that last time, but yeah, I do. Up here I have a Sega Saturn box. I don't have a Sega Saturn, just a box. I have like cables and stuff in there for all sorts. Switch. Vader 2600. ColecoVision expansion module number 1. Atari Long Rainbow Junior, whatever you want to call it. This is a Coleco Gemini. Nintendo Entertainment System in the box. I upgraded since my last one was missing styrofoam and stuff. That one is pretty much perfect. Here are my Genesis games. There's only one that I don't have the box for, and I'll get that eventually. It's like $10, and I just need to decide to do that someday. There's all my Master System games. Wow, so cool. I do have some Genesis games back here. I don't know if you can see those, but they're just random sports games that I don't really care about. Here is other things. This is a Heavy Sixer Sears Telegames 2600. I have this little clock. I like it. It's cool. Xbox One games, PS2 games, Wii games, Wii U games. I finally got Wii Party. Had a garage sale. GameCube games. Here's one single Atari XEGS game. Here's some VIC-20 games. I think that, yeah, Jupiter Lander. That's another one of those lunar lander-like games. And then these are all Intellivision games. There's loose Intellivision games right there. There is a basically brand new Atari 4-switch, Action 52 for Sega Genesis, and a Game Genie, also for Sega Genesis. Here is an actually brand new Atari XEGS. That's cool. Got that from a relative who apparently just never opened it. Here's some arcade marquees, Defender, Pac-Man, and Q*bert. And then turning around all the way over here, NES Max, NES Zapper, Super Nintendo controller, and a thing. I keep box protectors in there. Some memory cards. I have another one of these. Someone's borrowing it. And then some N64 games. I think all of these are ones I have in the box, and then all of these are left to be gotten in the box. So that might happen eventually. N64 really isn't my priority, though. Over here I have probably the greatest work of art ever. Kevin Van Dam's Big Bass Challenge. This is how I switch between all of these systems, except Dreamcast. I sold the Dreamcast. PS1 is no longer hooked up here. Yeah, so there's a PS2. I think that PS1 goes to the PS2. I don't know. Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. I got a Fantastic Green N64. That's kind of cool. Spare NES, GameCube. I just sold the Dreamcast, so there's still a spot for it. There's the one game that I saved because I have nostalgia playing that game. It's like the only Dreamcast game I played. There's a Pong system, not hooked up, but it's just sitting there. Up here I have some more Ataris. This is a Sunnyvale, California 4-switch, which, if you really want me to explain how that exists, I can do that. There are some Atari parts, this empty box that's been sitting there for years. There's a Commodore VIC-20 and a Commodore 64, both in the box. Broken PS1, I think this is a case for my Switch. In here I have a Famicom in the box, pretty much stock. Here is an N64, completely stock in the box. Just a gray one with one controller, but it's like just the most standard thing ever. But I still think it's cool. Mattel Electronics Football. Here's 5 box Genesis controllers, because why not? Here's a Switch controller. And television in the box. There's the other Atari 2600 Junior model, the one with the short rainbow on it. There's an Arduino. Here's Blip, that stupid game I got at the thrift store. Here's a power-based converter for your Genesis. There's a boxed Power Glove and a stock Genesis Model 2. Yeah, there's my TV. It's having some issues, but it'll probably last me for as long as I need it. There is the Atari 2600 that I use. This is how I switch between all of these consoles. My NES is like on the other side of the room. I have a little TV that's hooked up over there. But I have an NES top loader that goes right there. Got that at the garage sale that I got all those boxed NES games at. There's an Atari 400, and a television, ColecoVision, a Wii Mini, and a TurboGrafx 16. Yeah, let's look in these drawers. Lots going on. A lot of N64 controllers. These are all like just Nintendo controllers. These are other not Nintendo controllers, except for some of these, like that. It's like a Wii Classic controller. Got the Sega Light Phaser, that's kind of cool. Wii things. There's a bunch of Game Boys. I got this PSP for free. The guy said he was just going to throw it away, so I figured I should just take it. Yeah, there's an Atari Lynx in there. Doesn't work. Other stuff. That's where all my Dreamcast games used to be, but of course I just sold all of those. So yippee. Xbox 360, Xbox stuff, PlayStation stuff. These are all Atari 400 cartridges. There's Pitfall. This is a weird game. I can't find any information on this game. I've seen like one other picture of it, and it looks a little bit different, but it's weird. Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, DS and 3DS stuff. Yep. There's a bunch of manuals. There's some Atari manuals. There's the Red Zapper manual. Spare and Nintendo manuals. Here's the manual to Merlin. The Game Boy printer manual. What is this? V3 racing wheel? Why not? N64 manuals. Diddy Kong Racing. Just a bunch of random stuff. Like, why do I have this manual? Sega Saturn manuals. Why? I don't know. I don't have any Sega Saturn stuff other than that one box. But there's a lot of manuals in there. There's some other stuff. Just cables and these random, like, cheat code books. I don't know. There's the boxes to these things. There's a GameCube microphone down there. That's kind of interesting. This is the bag to the Virtual Boy and more manuals. There's a Jeff Robin book. Yeah, that's pretty much everything in this drawer. So, cool. That is that everything? Yeah, I guess that kind of is everything. I might real quick show you guys my computers, because I've never shown you guys the computers, so let's cut to that. Okay, excuse the mess. This is like all just sitting here. Down here there's an Apple printer, ImageWriter 2. That's an IBM Model F, best keyboard ever. There's a random keyboard. Some Mac. There's both versions of the TI-99 4A in the box. This is a TDP Model 100 complete in the box. I think that might be the only one documented in the box. They're super rare. K-Pro 2. I finally fixed this thing, so that's cool. There's the power supply to the K-Pro 2. It's a spare, yeah, reasons. Here's the boxes to the Apple IIc. It's a TRS-80 Model 100. Here's my Apple II Plus. That thing's cool. Some random other things. Here are some boxed Apple II games. There's an Apple II GS. Here's a parts Atari 400. Here's my 2C. This is the first Apple II that I got. It's cool. Here's a Mac SE with SimCity for Mac. There's the bag for this because it's portable. Wow. Let's see what I have in here. Oh, that's actually, hold on. This is interesting stuff. Kind of forgot about this stuff. This is one of 2 documented student sets of the Oregon Trail that still exist. So that's cool. A very yellowed keyboard, some floppy disks, more floppy disks. Yeah, Oregon Trail is really the only interesting thing here. Oh my, that's a big mess. More floppy disks, it looks like, some mice. There's some controller cards for printers for the Apple II in there. Yeah, just random stuff. Down here, here's a bunch of books. Here's like all the K-Pro manuals. There's like one interesting thing in here, I think. Where is it? Oh, here it is. These are kind of cool. These are audio cassettes that teach you how to use the K-Pro 2. They're like audiobooks, but on cassette. They're like manuals. It's great. I don't know, weird stuff. I have a bunch of like Apple manuals. There's the manual to the 2E. I don't have a 2E, but I have the manual for it. There's a book about home computers. The Essential Guide to Home Computers. Nice Apple II. Yep, that's my computer stuff. I also collect typewriters, but that's like too far removed from video games for this video. If you guys want to see my typewriters, I have a lot of them. Yep, so there's my computers. That's basically it. Yeah, just wanted to do an update, show you guys what's changed, what stayed the same. Like I said, I've sold a ton of stuff. Really just trying to get stuff in box before I go to college. So, cool. Thanks.